Alright, Sistas fans, kind of going hand in hand in the video I just did about fans rejoicing under the assumption that based on the promos that came out that Aaron is the father of Karen's baby. And I did, again, I already talked about that. But in this situation, I'm seeing an alarming number of people who are kind of just, and this is a variety of comments like, Andi is an awful friend and she better get Fatima out of jail and do this and do that. Now, in one of the upcoming episodes, episode 12, Fatima has to deal with the repercussions of a situation she didn't expect, she would get into. And then, Andi tries to help her out. But it's like, Andi better get her and Zach out of jail. But the thing is, I think some people are saying it's awful that, Andi is standing there, helping out Fatima and whatnot, but she wasn't willing to help out Karen, and that, oh, wow, Andi's an awful friend for telling Fatima to just, go for it with Zach, knowing that Karen's still in love with him, but then she's also a bad friend for helping out Fatima, even though she got herself into that situation. And I'm very conflicted on how people can even come to these assumptions. My thing is this. Fatima has helped out Andi before. Remember way back early season 2 when the feds showed up at the law firm to get basically all the evidence they might find from Andi's computers and office to incriminate her involving in the money laundering and whatnot that Gary was charged with. Fatima, if I'm not mistaken, Andi still doesn't know. Fatima stuffed some things in her purse or her pockets or whatever to make sure Andi was okay. And again, I could be wrong. Maybe she did tell her, but regardless, Andi's being there for a friend. I mean, hell, even when she thought that Fatima killed Hayden, she was there. And it's just one of those things where if she isn't, it's like, no, I think the main thing is 15 years, what kind of bull crap is that? Well, for one, I think the 15-year thing is regarding Zach, not Andi. Also, it's weird to me how people say a person isn't a friend if they can't get them out of a situation that they put themselves in. That really goes hand in hand with a Bill from Bruh whenever he makes a dumbass decision and his friends tell him it's like, hey man, you can either do this or you can do that. And then basically they get mad, or he gets mad when his boys can't tell him what he wants to hear. And it's like, well, what do you expect me to do? You're the one that got married. You're the one that didn't get a prenup and this and that. And in this case, I know that Fatima and Andi are friends, but there's only so much she can do. Yes, she's a lawyer. She has, contacts and whatnot. But when you get into a situation, there's only so much, she can do, especially, how legal system is with black people. So it's just one of those things where, what's the saying? You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. I still say, and I could be proven wrong once the show comes back, I don't think Hayden had anything to do with the Heather Lee Jennings thing. But at the same time, I'm like, yeah, even though Hayden has done a lot of foul stuff, that was stupid for Fatima to assume he did it, destroy his car windows and whatnot, threaten him with a bat, and trespass in his house. You're just asking for trouble. And in that situation, that's Fatima's fault. Now, going back to where Zach's going to be attacking Hayden at the law firm. No doubt he's going to be doing that because he finds out that Hayden got Fatima arrested. And of course, Zach said he didn't like Hayden putting hands on Fatima, after when she got into his car. But even though I do not condone domestic violence, men hitting women or women hitting men for that matter, Fatima struck him several times with brass knuckles. He defended himself. And then what happened? She called him 2 goons in there, or 2 or 3 guys, to beat his ass. Unconscious, stripped down on the hood of his car. These 2 jailbirds are made for each other. This isn't me dogging on Zatima either, but I'm just saying that I don't think people should rush to judgment. I mean, put it this way. it might get to a point where Andi can't do anything for Fatima or Zach, where it's like, look, Fatima, you helped me. Me and you have gotten closer over the last couple weeks, a few weeks or whatever. But if you keep getting yourself into these situations, it's going to get to a point where I can't do anything for you. And could that tarnish their friendship? If it does, Fatima wasn't a real friend. Look, people could say ride or die or whatever, but it's kind of like with Karen, who, in my opinion, I didn't like it when some of the girls and even some fans were giving her crap for not standing by Andi during her surprise wedding that Gary threw her, season 3. I'm like, just because you're my best friend, that doesn't mean I'm going to stand by you all the time. I want what's best for you. And the foolishness of marrying this guy who's physically abused you, manipulated you, did this and that, I can't stand by and watch my friend go through something like that. Now, I can understand Danny's perspective in that, look, she's a grown woman. She's going to make her own choices. But at the same time, being your friend doesn't mean I have to co-sign on your foolishness. And in my opinion, I don't think Andi is a bad friend if it gets to the point where she isn't able to get Fatima and Zach off. Well, Zach is Fatima's man. Zach is the one that attacked one of her fellow colleagues at the job. And look, we don't know the full story, but I do feel like, it's pretty much obvious that Zach is going to, find out about Fatima's arrest. He's probably going to stop by the law firm to talk with Andi to learn what's going on. Sees it's Hayden, and then goes off on him. And then that leaves him getting... It's the same level of stupidity. Season 2, Karen shows Aaron. Next thing you know, Zach meets Fatima. Gets Fatima to drop him off at the hotel because Pam let it slip because she assumed that Zach was the one that arranged a romantic night for him and Karen at the hotel. He broke into the room, got into a fight when Aaron got arrested, and the girls got the nerve. I think Danny and Andi were both telling Karen, hey, that man could lose his job, bail him out of jail. For what? It's not my fault. Absolutely right. And one of the few times I'm like, yeah, Karen, she is right when it comes to her friends not being on her side. No one's ever on her side. So that's my take on it. Andi is doing all she can, but it always gets to a point where, look, you're going to get into something so big, you're going to do something so dumb that I won't be able to save you when repercussions come your way. Consequences and repercussions. So, as much as I love Zach and Fatima, these two really need to cool it when it comes to their hot-headed decision making. So, that's all I got to say about it. I mean, Andi can only do so much. Obviously, they're not going to get extreme jail time due to the fact that Zatima is happening. So, I'll leave it at that. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Thanks so much for tuning in. Like and subscribe. Hit the super thanks button if you want to leave a tip. But at the very least, share this video around and comment your thoughts.